need an operating manual written for our vertical, 3-axis, Bridgeport, CNC milling machine. This machine's sitting here, right here. The purpose of this machine is for metalworking industries, in which we would put into this machine a solid block of metal, of any type of metal. And by the milling operations, we would clean it down to the various shapes and sizes you see. There'd be one particular part, and this be another one. The major components of the machine, this assembly is referred to as a spindle. This is the vise. This is what the part gets held down by. What's called the table. This bottom assembly is referred to as the knee. This device here with the 4 switches on is the pendant. And this area over here is called the monitor. I'll walk you through the various steps now to start the machine up and set it up. The first step you do is on the side over here, the red handle, turn it to the on position. At this point, you have to wait a couple minutes for the machine to power up. It goes through a series of self-diagnostic checks, and depending upon them, then you can start. When the machine powers up, goes through the self-diagnostics, the first screen you're going to get, this is one here, it's referred to as the startup screen. The first operation you perform on the machine is an operation called homing. In homing, what happens is the machine teaches itself where it's at. To perform homing on this monitor over here, this is not a touch screen. It shows you the keys, but we need to hit the keypad down below. First operation is number 7, access drive enable. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but the motor is just kicked on. You hear that whining noise. Number 8 says hold the access. And a little flashing arrow says to hit any key. So we just hit anything on the keyboard, and the machine goes through a homing operation. In homing, the spindle goes all the way up. This is referred to as the Z-axis, up and down. The table moves all the way to the left. Left and right is the X-axis. And the table comes all the way out. In and out this way is the Y-axis. So at this point, the machine is homed. It's all the way to the left, all the way out, and the Z's all the way up. Okay? Notice when it homed, the screen changes configuration. All right. The next operation we need to do is teach the machine where the part's at. To do that, we need to do an operation called jogging, in which we'll manually move the table under the spindle. On the keypad, I want to choose option number 9 for jog. And notice again, the screen changed configurations. On the screen, number 1 is jog X, number 4 is jog Y, number 7 is jog Z. When you first switch to the screen, all the time, 1 and 3 will be flashing. So right now we're jogging X. I need to move the table over, so by pressing this silver button here in the front, the table moves. As long as I hold it, it keeps moving. If I reverse the arrow, it goes the other way. So I run it over. So basically the spindles line up at the edge of my part, or edge of the vise. Now I need to move the Y back. That's going to be button number 4. And the same thing. All right.
Bill, what is the name of the silver button there? Does it have a name?
Just the jog button.
The jog?
Jog.
Jog button.
Since we have no particular part in here, we're just kind of eyeballing the center of the spindle to roughly the center edge of the vise. I mean, in reality, we'd have a tool in here coming down to the part. For safety reasons, we're not doing that. Right now, I'm going to eyeball and say I'm pretty well lined up. So we need to tell the machine where we're at. To do that, we got a series of buttons over here in the monitor. Okay. You got that, Darren? All right. We'll assume we're lined up. We need to tell the machine where we're at. So over here in the keypad on the monitor, F6, set X, hit F6, so set X, 0, enter. F7, set Y, 0, enter. To set the Z, F8, 1, enter, enter. If I set everything up properly, on your screen, the X, Y, and Z, all three will be reading 0.
On the Z axis, you press 1.
1 and 0, 0. 1, enter, enter. The 1 refers to a tool number.
So the other two, you were 0, enter.
Enter.
0, enter.
Yes.
But the last axis, it's
1, enter,
enter,
enter.
enter.
Yes. The 1 refers to a tool number. On the X and Y, we're setting a location, and on the Z, we're setting a tool number. All right. So everything is set. Now we're ready to load the program and cut the part. To do that, 0 takes us out of jog. We need to go to F7, the load program. And it's kind of hard to see, I'm sure, on the video, but there is a program here, ENG 190. We haven't renamed it on our semesters yet. Use the cursor key to highlight it, enter, and Y.
Cursor key or the arrow key?
The arrow key. Is it the cursor? Oh. The arrow keys.
Use the arrow keys to scroll
Okay.
down to...
I was just informed that they are the arrow keys, not the cursor keys. Never mind. Okay. An engineer doesn't know the English language. All right.
Did you all hear that? Engineers don't know the English language. Anyway, go ahead, Bill.
Now we're ready to make the final run of the part. F4 to run. 5, enter. At this point, the last operation is to turn the middle switch to the start position. All right, now the program's running. I'm going to run it again to show you something else this time. Hit start again. While it's running, we can hit the hold button. Everything stops. If I want to restart it, back to start.
Okay, Bill, could you go back over, what are the names of the switches and the button on here? What are they called? The center switch is...
The center switch will be turn to the right for start.
Right, but what is it called? Is there a name for it? It says...
The start switch.
Spindle enable.
It's a dual function switch.
Okay.
If you turn it to the right, it start. If you turn it to the left, it turns the spindle on.
Okay.
It's a dual function switch. You notice the top one is spindle low, high. The middle one's dual function. All we need to worry about is turn it to the start position.
So it's a switch that
Yes.
turns to start.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And then the hold
It's just the push button.
The hold is actually a button.
Yes, to hold the button.
It's H-O-L-D as in dog.
Yes, yes. And the middle one is a switch. You turn it, rotary switch. And the bottom one is a push button.
Thank you.
All right. The one thing I did not talk about earlier is, you need to mention in the manual, is this little red button here and this one up here. These are emergency stop buttons. The operator needs to be informed if anything goes wrong. Press them, and that shuts everything down.
You have to press both of them?
Either one, just one of them. The last operation is to power the machine down. This is the easiest one. Turn the handle to the other position.